Welcome to 180 U-Turn, the talk show that features some of the greatest conversion stories of our time. Stories of men and women who have been on the highway of hell and encountered a Damascus Road experience that changed their lives forever. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, and I'm broadcasting live from the Home of Hope, a ministry of Teen Challenge here in Casa Grande, Arizona, one of the premier detox and rehab facilities for drug and alcohol abuse. For more information on their rehab services, weekly meetings, and special events, just go out to their website at tcaz.org. Click on the top menu where it says our programs and cycle down and hit Home of Hope, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. And if you want to contact me at the show, it's Steve at 180uturn.com. That's Steve at 180youturn.com. I'll be as faithful as I can to return your email. And today, our final day on the Mandy Stockton story with Mandy Stockton, you know, we're talking about, all this stuff. I have never heard a person actually describe their affection, the physiological affection for meth, as the way you put this out here in your story. And you say, what are you talking about, Steve? Well, if you haven't watched Monday's through Thursday show, you need to hear Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the bad boy aspects of her testimony, and then Thursday's time of coming to God. And then now we're talking about, hey, well, now that you got God, what are you doing? What are you doing about it, right?
Right.
So let's talk about, you're here at the Casa Grande facility.
Mm-hmm.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you were going to be working for Teen Challenge?
I never thought I'd be in Arizona.
Yeah, there you go.
I had always thought, you know, when I went back to Teen Challenge with Bella, that I would just stay in New York and I would stay and work at that Teen Challenge, and that's just what I would do. I never in a million years, in fact, I think one of the things that I said is that I would never work at a women with children's Teen Challenge
facility.
Why
is that?
I have no idea. That was just one of the things I had said that, you know, many years ago. And
just to add to that confusion, Steve said 16 years ago, oh, we're going into a women's prison? Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
16 years later, still there. Yeah.
And so, a little bit before I was about to complete my program, Chelsea, who was the director of the program that I went through, Linus and Lamb, she actually came here, I believe it was 2 or 3 years prior before opening up Linus and Lamb, and shadowed here. She went to a lot of different women and children homes, and she had brought it up, and we had talked about it, and I had said, and she kind of, you know, agreed to that Arizona was too far to take Bella. So we were going to look at other options. A couple of other teen challenges I had talked to and thought about maybe going there, and then we kind of laid that down, but the Lord just kept bringing Arizona back up, and I thought, is it because I love to travel, but I thought, is it because that's what I want to do, my flesh wants to do, or is that really what you want me to do, Lord? And so I had prayed about it, and I went back to Chelsea, and I figured that she would I didn't figure I was going to get the answer that I got. And so when I went back to her, and she said, oh, well, absolutely, I'll call Jen, and Jen was the center supervisor at the time. She's the director now. I'll call her and I'll see, you know, if they still need somebody. And she had called Jen, and they had a conversation. She came back to me and she said, you know, she actually told me that they're praying for someone right now. And I thought, okay.
So an answer, you are now an answer prayer.
There we are. And so I just really heard the Lord tell me, you know, trust me, and I'm going to put you back on the path that I started you on many years ago. And so February 4th of last year, 2020, a week after I completed, Bella and I got on the plane and we came to Arizona. And since we've been here, oh my goodness, I'm the intake coordinator now.
And what does that mean? Give me an idea of what the description of the job is.
So I'm actually the person like that you call and you talk to. I'm the face, the voice that you see, that you talk to when you need help, when you're in distress. I talk to families. I have families, you know.
Well, really, you're on the front lines then.
Right.
People could be in desperate despair when by the time they get to you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and they usually are. And I talk to families every day, families that now, now I see where my dad was coming from at the end of this. My mother had passed away, and here I was in my addiction, and before I really couldn't understand, but now I see, and I'm the person that you talk to, that you reach out to, that gets you in the program, that wants to, how can I put this? I'm helping people like myself that, were out there doing the things that I was doing.
How critical is it when a person gets on the phone and they're talking to somebody that's went through this?
It's very much. I always try to be very transparent, very just honest with, what I went through, because I feel like if you can relate to someone, versus, at one point in my life, I went to a 27-day program. I didn't make it all the way through. My parents, we went that route before they sent me to Teen Challenge. And, those people, I say those people, but psychologists and psychiatrists and all that stuff, they don't get it. They get the book part of it, they get the educational part of it, but they haven't lived it. And so, being the intake coordinator, I hear it all day long, just the pain. Moms who have lost their children, moms who are pregnant, family members who have daughters who are dying, and they have their children, mothers who just had DCS come in and take their kids,
because of their drug addiction.
Right, and stuff like that. And so
I was thinking about this book you were talking about yesterday, Forgotten God. I think that your book should be Forget God. Because of your personality at the time. You're not only taking calls in that people are in distress and on dope and whatever, but you're saying, I totally understand. Well, is this place a God place? Yes, it is. And then you can talk about your ultimate resistance campaign that you did for a decade. Just resisting here you got it. I have your answer. I have your solution. I have the way to go, and we're resisting it. So it's not only your testimony on your own pass on dope, but it's really your testimony of, hey, I know exactly what you're feeling on this resistance issue. Nobody wants to come here and have the God component thrown in their face, right?
And we certainly don't. That's not what we aspire to do here. This is a place for you to come and find yourself, because when you're in your addiction, you lose who you are. You lose everything. And so, we definitely want you to have a personal relationship with Christ, but in doing so, find out who you are, to love yourself again, and find out your worth in the Lord. And I will say this about, my child, she thrives here. She knows, all the ladies' names. She loves every one of them. This is such a safe place where, she can run off and I know that she's okay. That this is just,
and remember, that's big, since she had this separation anxiety where she always had to be with you, clinging to you.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So no, that's freedom, right? That's an aspect of freedom.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so let's say the person says, okay, you talked me into it. What's next?
So then we just go through the process of, the application, and then I lead them, to, there's some blood tests that you have to get done, help them do that, and then, we have to have identification. I just have to have a copy of their birth certificate, their ID, and their social. But if they don't have that, I have different resources that help you get that. Like there's nothing stopping you from coming into Teen Challenge. There's nothing here at the Home of Hope.
But are you saying that if somebody was here, let's use our area of Arizona. So somebody says, okay, I heard your show. I watched Mandy's testimony. I have 2 kids. I can bring my 2 kids?
Yes. So we do 7 and under, but it's just kind of based on we've done older.
Mm-hmm.
We've done older. It's just kind of based on. I would just need to hear your story. You know, just kind of get a feel for.
Well, there might be some wiggle room here,
Right,
depending upon what's going on.
Right.
Okay,
right,
so
absolutely.
so now COVID hit. You know, COVID's everybody's had that disturb their
Right,
game
right.
plan. And you have openings here because people were slow to go back in
Right.
to services.
Right.
So you have.
I have beds available.
Beds available today.
Absolutely.
And if you're watching this, just remember, you know, since Mandy's the intake gal, she could hook you up once they go through your story. They do all the background check, the things you said they got to do, but they're not going to be sitting there trying to peg you personally to make sure you qualify, right? They're just trying to get you in the game and the information.
Right.
And then you could start to participate, and a couple of kids, you know, that's not out of the realm. Like, what was the most children you've ever taken at one time?
I believe 4. I just had a gal called not too long ago who had 5, and we're working with her. They are in DCS custody. We're working with her to see if we can go ahead and bring them in. I have a girl who's in our program right now who's about to get custody back of all 4 of her children, and they're going to come here. And so definitely.
And you can do that. You can take that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I've seen. One of my favorite stories is she's actually completed the program now. She came to us pregnant. She had the baby. DCS took the baby from her right then and there, and she now has the baby back with her here. Absolutely love that baby. And she's completed the program because we have an aftercare program where you can still live here and get a job out in the community, and this still be like your home, like a safe community.
Now, how long is the program then?
So we are up to 15-month program.
Oh, okay. So it's a commitment.
Yeah, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then after that, you know, we have what we call our work status program, where you can stay and you can still live here and, you know, get a job out in the community. We also offer internships, you know, 6-month internships if you feel called to ministry and this is what you want to do and the Lord has called you here, you know, you can do an internship, and it's a 6-month internship, maybe a little bit more, but, you know, that could also turn into a paid staff position, you know.
Your nonprofit.
Right.
Somebody's picking up the dime for this.
So we have great people who donate. We have great donors. We do have an application fee and we do have an intake fee. However, if you cannot afford that and you do not have anyone that can help you at all, I'm absolutely willing to work with you on that. I do not turn anyone away due to money. I do not turn anyone away due to money at all.
Some people may not know this, but Teen Challenge has been around 50 years in the United States. They have franchise system, not all take in children, of course, but male and female. I've been in other institutions of Teen Challenge. It's a big, big ministry, you know, and that thing's been around since, its founder.
Right.
David Wilkerson.
Right.
So if you're listening to this story and you say, man, I love this story, it's my story, I think I could relate to this, or you're saying, gee, I just need to get away, get out of my heroin addiction, out of my meth addiction, my opioid addiction now, that's becoming the big thing, because it's a little bit more sacrosanct, I think. It's it's illicit still though, by the way. So if you're doing that, just again, for more information on everything that's going on in Mandy, with Mandy's life, she was happy to tell you her story, and maybe her story is your story. If you just want to give her a call, write her an email. She's the intake gal for this facility.
I can even give y'all my cell phone number. I may not have an intake cell phone. Can I do that on here?
We'll type it in.
Okay.
I'll type it into the
It's
show.
everywhere because I've got an intake cell phone that I answer 24/7.
Okay.
Not anytime,
Good to know.
24/7.
And remind me to put that in the blog, and I'll do that. You'll be in the blog. If you say, Steve, where is that? It's in the blog.
And anytime you can call. Anytime I answer the phone, all the time.
And you say, well, Steve, how do I know to do that? Just hop out again to their website at tcaz.org. As soon as you come on their website, you'll see a menu on the top. Hit our programs. the drop down will come down and hit Home of Hope. And when you get on the phone for the intake, you'll be talking to Mandy. Mandy, thank you so much for your testimony.
you.
It's his blood and our testimony,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
The combination is
Absolutely.
lethal to the devil. I love it. It's great.
Absolutely.
So until next time, remember, I'm Steve Savant. No one's outside the reach of God. No, not one.